Easy, y'all. Easy, cow. It ain't even your calf. It ain't even your calf. Hey, hey, hey. Well, good morning. Bobby Lee here from Hurricane Creek Farms. What is shaping up to be a beautiful Wednesday. Yeah, you see the sunshine there behind me here in West Tennessee. Cool this morning, like about 33, 34, a little frosty, but I think we're warming back up into the 60s again today. So yeah, pretty unbelievable in terms of how nice the weather has been just the last week, 10 days or so. Had a lot of rain on Sunday, it was like 1.5 inches, but it's otherwise been beautiful. So get these calves fed and get on about our day. Got a few things to get done today. No like enormous projects, but you never know what might pop up. We got that bunch fed. We got 5 little road calves. It's been anywhere between 5 and 10. We're down to 5 this morning that are back here in the back. So I'm gonna see if I can get them to move on back up towards the front. There they all are, right down there. If I can get them to move through this gate right here, they'll then be confined to just a very small area, you know, that I don't want them to be. Just as we're inching towards spring, we got these nice days. We really want this grass to be left alone, you know, unadulterated, let that fescue really get going. And even when it's just these few little mouths, they kind of hamper the ability for that grass to jump out on ahead of us. So I don't know how successful I'll be, but I'm gonna see if I can get them to go ease on through that gate right there. Probably wishful thinking, but we'll see. Go on now, all of you, go on. Y'all better go through that daggone gate. And that's how you drive cattle with a Jeep. So the gate they were standing, I mean, literally like 50 feet from, they kind of turned and ran away. This is even better. Now, as soon as I shut this gate, they are back trapped in the pasture we want them in, and not just one away. So, of course, we repaired that spot on the fence. Well, it may have been last week, 2 weeks ago, I can't remember. It's just down in this bottom up on the next ridge. Assuming that's the only real bad spot, we should, for the first time in about probably 2 months, have all 52 animals right here just in this front pasture where we want them. My brother was giving me a hard time yesterday. He's like, you got calves back here grazing on those other pastures? Like, you ain't gonna be ready to bring in a new group of calves, you know, till middle of summer, just because you ain't gonna slow down that fescue getting a head start on us. But our 5 delinquents are back up front. We got this done. One thing I did notice when I was feeding, the feed bin is, for all practical purposes, empty. So I need to go ahead and call and see if we can get some feed delivered here in the next 2 or 3 days. Of course, over the weekend, we brought some of that older hay down here, in addition to 2 of our newer rolls. Well, you can see they're picking at this older hay. The 2 new rolls were over the hill there. They've eaten them slap up, so that was relatively predictable. We'll probably go ahead and bring them a couple more rolls today. We'll just see. We don't want them to get so spoiled where they just hold out for us to bring them the barn stored hay. Because at some point they're gonna have to eat some of that older hay if we're gonna make it to spring grazing. But yeah, we'll see about that this afternoon. We got a bunch of other things to do between now and then. We'll take just a second to talk about, got the FFA themed blue and gold net wrap. Got the 51-inch wide, the cover edge for our 48-inch wide rolls. But Agzaga, of course, where we ordered that, they were running a special last week. May still be going. Specific on the FFA themed, $10 off a roll. Then, of course, if you listen to the podcast, you know you use discount code TALKDIRT, all caps, all one word. You get 10% off. And so, baling season's coming up. I got a roll or two of wrap already in the barn, but I thought, well, I know I'm gonna need a little more. Go ahead and take advantage of that deal. You know, I knew they were competitive, you know, especially with a discount code, probably even cheaper than other retailers. But actually, out of just curiosity, I went online to one of the big national stores, one that's got a lot of, I mean, they're everywhere. I won't mention them by name, but just check the exact same dimension, you know, 51 inches wide, you know, 9,840 feet length. Wasn't the blue and gold, but just a plain net wrap, was $100 a roll higher than what I got that for from Agzaga. And that was delivered right there to my garage, you know, to my back door. Of course, you know, you're kind of comparing apples to oranges, because when you pay that extra $100 a roll, you still got to go to the store and pick it up. So it's unbelievable how good the deals are on the net wrap. So I encourage you to check them out, agzaga.com. Discount code TALKDIRT, all caps, all one word. You get an additional 10% off, you know, in addition to like the $10 off a roll there, running it on the FFA wrap. These cows here at home doing about like they did up the road. They're going ahead. That's one of those old rolls of hay. That silver hay feeder right over there was the same. So they are going to go ahead and eat that hay, and I figured they would. It wasn't bad. It's just older hay, and it may have gotten rained on. They couldn't remember. That was some. That's why they didn't feed it last year. But certainly more than edible, and some good feed value there still. But yeah, we'll definitely need to put them out some hay by this afternoon. I got to do a few more chores, and then Kaylin and I actually have an appointment. We got to run, unfortunately. I guess the suburbs of Memphis. I hate going to Shelby County, period, but hopefully it's just for a couple hours. We're gonna try to make a little lunch date out of it as well. Okay, I need to go over and look at those tubs, but I think the ones they had out were pretty much empty, so that's why we brought one. Yeah, you can probably appreciate the color on this older hay, especially once you get into the center of the roll. It's actually really good, and I mean the smell, I mean, I'll admit it's not nearly as pleasant, as perfect as the barn stored hay, but there's nothing wrong with that hay. They've gotten spoiled. Typically we feed our lower quality hay earlier in the year, just so they're not spoiled. But of course, we didn't realize we were going to need a lot of that hay until just a few weeks ago, or it's been more apparent over the last few weeks. So, y'all be fine. Got a bag of mineral to put out. I noticed the mineral feeder's empty, and I think this afternoon I'll bring them one old roll, one new roll. Again, they've got to eat this at some point, so we're gonna have to be just a little bit stubborn with them. Almost forgot the main purpose of me coming back down here, which was to get this empty feed bin. So I'm hoping they'll bring us feed in the next day or two. Usually when we call, they're there pretty quick. So. Well, we survived our excursion into Memphis for the day. Back home, was getting ready to go ahead and do some other chores and whatnot, make some rounds, and this dude, same one as the last video. This the second time. He always does it on a day when I'm off, so I appreciate that. I don't know, we got to do more investigating because I never did definitively figure out how he got out last time. And it's always, I mean, I need to confirm that everybody else is still in place, but it at least appears that it's always just him. I mean, he's obviously been laying down and he's muddy, but that's no different than any of the rest of them. The pen is in good shape underneath the barn. And obviously they can get on dry ground, but where they lay down outside of the barn is very muddy and nasty. Which now, you know, last time I was kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt. I said, okay, maybe he kind of accidentally, he laid down right here and then wallered his way underneath. But he must be doing it on purpose. That's the only thing I can figure is he gets underneath here and just picks that whole thing up. Because, I mean, again, it's very makeshift. What we probably ought to do, because these panels don't match up, of course, is undo that one, allow this one to drop down. But clearly there's cow manure over on this side. I don't know. That's got to be what's happening, is something along those lines. But thankfully, because all you have to do is run down the hill there, and then he's back in the back pasture. But he doesn't ever do that. He wants to stay up here. He wants back in there, so we're going to oblige him and then just make a quick adjustment and see if we can keep him from doing this again. Okay, it's open. How about you head on down there? He's not the big, he's just a smaller frame steer, just not the biggest compared to some of those others. Not that that's the most important thing, but all right. I think actually before we connect it all back right here, we'll work on making those minor adjustments right there. I need some more hay string. What would farmers and ranchers do without baling twine to tie makeshift setups together? Well, just made that minor adjustment. It's still very makeshift. Yeah, I feel almost certain, I don't know, about 90% certain that's where it's happening. It's not. Every now and then the wire panels over there on the far side, just like these, they'll push on them and pop those staples out, which we've been replacing those staples, you know, when we've gone back and redone it with some of those cat's claw fasteners. Yeah, I got a couple here on some of these panels. Those hold a little better. But I was like, if that was the case, and had a panel popped off over there that I hadn't, you know, maybe it was just flapping back and forth, it wouldn't be just him getting out. Survey the cows here. Nice day, it's clouded up, but they still got kind of a little group right over the ridge there. They still got probably 3/4 of a roll of that old hay. But I don't think we have any rain moving in until maybe Friday, so a couple more days. We'll go ahead and fill up the hay feeders here in a little while. I got to run and help my dad. They got a little problem with the cows. Older cow that I think kind of slipped and got down. She actually got up and moved, but now she's laid down again, and she seems to be a little weak. I don't think she's seriously injured. We're gonna evaluate that and then come back home and get on tractor, start putting out some hay. One of the barn cats, Pumpkin, right up there on top of that roll of hay. I imagine starting a tractor may startle her. Or maybe not. She must think she's hitting pretty well.
Reposition. 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 Reposition.
We're gonna go ahead and get some hay put out here at home, then take a couple up the road. Nice day. Like I said, the sun has disappeared on us, but like 65 degrees. Nice for this time of year. Doesn't look like, well, shouldn't speak too soon, but doesn't look like the heifers, any of them are just about to calve any moment now. But actually, I try not to back over anything. Was texting with one of the gentlemen who bought, I think he bought 14 of the bred heifers from us. As of yesterday, he said he already had 4 to calve. So I'm like, oh wow, that's, again, a full 283-day gestation wouldn't even be until Friday, so another 2 days. So they started just a little early, but things were going good for them. So we could be going anytime now, but I still think that Charolais looking heifer probably be the first of them here, but we'll see. And then I don't know that I mentioned it last video, but I checked my dates. The bulls, as far as exposing them to the cow herd, were I think 11 days behind the heifers, so we're still probably closer to 2 weeks as we sit here today on February the 7th before the mama cows will start calving. So we're about to get into it here pretty big time, and just hoping this weather, you know, kind of continues to hold out for us and stays this nice. If it does, it'll make for a much more pleasant calving season. But until then, we'll just keep feeding them. I am having to kind of modify some of the way I unwrap them. But they're kind of fall apart, these older rolls do, when you unwrap them. When the hay just kind of splays out and goes everywhere. It's not as easy to get the ring around it, so I don't know, we may have to experiment a little. And clearly some of that hay's not real good anyway. They're not going to eat it as it is, but I don't know. So a learning process that never stops. Okay, so 5 rolls put out here, 2 rolls out of the barn, 3 of the old rolls. Of course, they're attacking those older rolls pretty good. Strategically I put those out first so that the majority of them that I would go to those before this new hay was in here. Now, some of the smarter and more attentive ones knew with the new hay when they saw it, so they flocked over here. I imagine they're going to kind of slowly all migrate this way. So okay, tell you what, I think I might get out to shut the gate up here. You ready to go before I head up the road to the other farm? Come out these long sleeves. It's a little warm. Grab my gate opener. He's going to help us. You can probably see over on the hillside that yellow heifer that we've already said is going to be the first one to calve. We're pretty certain. She's gone up here by herself, in spite of the fact that there's brand new hay out there. Yeah, I believe she's already starting to push. There may be a baby calf before we even get back home, which we should be back in a half hour. So
She's standing up.
Actually, she just stood up. I don't see any feet or anything yet, but now she is. I'm ready to go ahead and say she's. Oh yeah, we actually do have. Oh crap! We're gonna walk over and look at her. I don't think she's had it. She might have. course, as luck would have it, I didn't charge the camera last night, and so my battery's running low, but worst case scenario, we can film with the phone. All right, so I'll go over here and look at it real quick. So she hadn't had the calf yet. We're gonna get out of here before we bother her anymore. So we'll be back in about 30 minutes. Yeah, water bag, as a lot of people call it, amniotic sac, is hanging out, so. That's the first part of the birthing process. She's gonna have a baby maybe before we get back. So let's roll. Probably won't film any. Yeah, probably won't film any of us unloading this hay because I got about 10% battery left and try to save it for the real show. Well, that's pretty much the way it's supposed to happen. We left here about 35 minutes ago. She hadn't had the calf. By the time we get home, the calf is up. Only problem, the calf, this black cow who looks like she's about ready to pop, her bag is huge too. She's almost trying to steal the calf from this heifer, which may present a problem, but we're gonna see if we can get a tag and it's here, see if we got a bull or a heifer. Got my cameraman with me right here. "31, you get out of here. I ain't your camera." Easy, y'all. Easy, cow. It ain't even your calf. It ain't even your calf. Hey, hey. Hey. It ain't even your calf.
I can't. Daddy told me to do it this close.
It ain't even your calf. It ain't even your calf. Get back, cow. It ain't even your calf.
That cow's just worried. What was it?
Little heifer. So I see a potential problem here. The black cow is convinced that it's her calf. Archie, you don't want to know that. Well, battery officially died on the GoPro, but so I don't know how much of that it recorded. But the black cow is convinced it's her calf. It is not. It belongs to that 126 heifer that we knew was going to be the first one to calve. But if the ladies were riding, they wanted to ride over here and get in on a little bit of the action. But yeah, got a little bit interesting there for a moment. We gave it a dose of optimizer gel. It's a new product. We'll talk more about that as we get further into calving, use it a little more. But
nice, good show for today.
well, the black cow ain't even her calf.
Oh,
All right,
they're all coming up for the show.
but yeah, now we got a crowd. But it's nearly dark. We're gonna get inside. We're actually eating some venison tonight, some deer meat that we killed. Willis, are you running back to the house? Are you running back to the house, buddy? All right, well, video's over. What do we tell everybody? If you didn't hear them, you know what they said. Eat beef and God bless. See y'all next time.